Hello, everybody. Just gonna do a rundown on this build here. I'm gonna do a rundown on this build here that I got up. It's a Tabaxi Trailblazer. It's the first of the 3 lives of the iconic Tabaxi. Opening up the character sheet, I mixed this 12 monk with the fighter, fighter 8. And it was to do a Kensi build so that the monk could be centered with Greatexes, was the whole point. And well, I guess I didn't even bother really dumping too much into wisdom. There's a number of different ways that you could build this character up, but I just decided on this one. Starting stats were low for wisdom, only a base 12. My main stat was strength for a two-handed weapon. So I started with 18 strength on this. It's 2 points lower than some of the other classes. And con was maxed out at 18. It's like, I don't know if I put some points to start with a base 10 dex on this either. Intel and Charisma were dumps. All 5 points along the way for leveling went into strength. And you can see that's not all that huge right there. I mean, I've gotten higher on barbarians and stuff. I'll open up the enhancements tree. Okay, on the 5th tier of the Kensi Fighter, which you can get up into with just 5 levels of fighter, or 6, or like what I did with 8, you get this ability up here that centers you with whatever your focus weapons are. And the focus group starts down here, is where you pick it on the 1st tier. I'm pretty sure. I can't look at the list right now because my tree's all filled out. But there's a whole bunch of different weapons in this choice here that you can pick to be centered with, as long as you take it to the 5th tier. It's called One with the Blade. It says, while you're centered, you may gain various benefits from levels in Monk or as a Grandmaster of Flowers. As well as, I mean, just normal Kensai Fighter gets all these other cool things up here. The Keen Edge is going to give you competence to your critical threat range. The Deadly Strike is they're 2 big damage strikes that you get out of here, and Deadly Strike is one of them. The other one is a Good Death. And then even the Weapon Master up here with +3 to hit and damage with all weapons is pretty cool too. You follow that up all the way. But I think you do need eventually 8 levels of fighter to max out these last 2 tiers on that. I mean, it's kind of a lot of damage along the way. This other move, Opportunity Attack here, it deals damage, and then it's giving you melee power for 6 seconds. So it's a good idea to just mix that in, even though it might not be such a big strike. I have it slotted down here for manual use. On my hotbar. I kind of set this up for the trip Sunder the Deadly Strike, a Good Death, and Drifting Lotus from the Monk Epic Destiny for my five fingers over here on my hotbar. And then I double loaded it all up here so that I can manually pick and choose what I want to hit. Again, if you do run melee or whatever, in DDO have to find a way that you're comfortable with activating all those different strikes or moves or whatever on your own. You know, something that you gotta get acclimated to. Okay, opening up that enhancements tree again. So 40 points in here in the Kensi fighter. Only 16 in the Henshin Monk, but this is primarily for a quarterstaff user. I do not, I don't use quarterstaffs, but some of the moves in here work for quarterstaffs, or some of the abilities. Lighting the candle is giving you extra damage, fire and force damage on a critical, which will work with the Greataxe or whatever you're centered with. It doesn't have to be, you know, monk wraps or whatever. And besides, lighting the candle does more damage with two-handed weapons. Your two-handed weapon list is quarterstaff, falchion, greatsword, greataxe, and maul. So I reached up to grab that, as well as two of the monk moves that give enemies vulnerability to elemental damage. The two that I took are acid and fire. I didn't spend more to get the cold or the electrical filled out. And because I am strength based, I grabbed the strength here, up here on the third tier. Then on the Tabaxi Trailblazer, I got 19 points. And I mean, this is just how this is. There's some bonus moves in here again. If you do a quarterstaff build, which I was trying to, I kind of stayed away from them just because, you know, obviously I got a Greataxe. In the falconry tree, there's a way to do wisdom to damage. If you know, like there's a lot of ways to restructure this build if you don't want to just play a dex-based monk. So that's something, I mean, I'm not really going to go over that too much, but you can do wisdom to hit and to damage with melee or missile weapons. So in the falconry tree, there's another way to totally redo all this. And I did spend 13 points over here. I got up to the quality hit point bonus maximum in there. I didn't really take any of the bird attacks, but I like some of the low-hanging fruit in this tree, including practice accuracy on tier 1, the toughness, or physical PRR rating here, and then Out of Nature's healing amp. You know, this is all kind of low stuff in here that anybody could take. Another point in strength I got out of there. And well-rounded. I mean, that's more melee power right there. You know, it all depends on what you want to do. All these bonus trees, the Inquisitive, Falconry, even the Inquisitive tree, the first point that you spend is +1 to attack with all weapons, +1 diplomacy, intimidate, and bluff. Doesn't matter if you got a crossbow in your hand or not. So, gotta watch what you're doing or what your kind of your focus is. Some points in Shinto, I like to use the monk move Path of Harmonious Balance, and then add those little bonus things on. Difficulty at the beginning will give you uh, restorative, a lesser restoration on top of the heal, and restoring the balance will remove curses. So that was like the only reason to really go into that Shinto. I'm not using the Jade Strike or anything. See, I didn't even take any of this up. Again, that's another way to, you know, customize your character. Could have gotten cold iron damage reduction out of this, maybe. A lot of good things in here too if you are just a hand wrap style of monk. But our main focus is Kensi. The haste boost here too. This strike right here, Read in the Wind, it does damage, and then it gives you a 9 insight bonus to dodge for 6 seconds. All you gotta do is damage the target. So this is something to look out for. I like doing this build because I don't know. It's fun, and I got a lot of Greataxes on the account. I guess epic feats first. Blinding speed. I am using defensive fighting. The monk move is not affected by that. It just has a radius. The Path of Harmonious Balance. People within your radius will get the heal and the restoration or the curse removal. Overwhelming critical. I did take epic toughness. Let's see what else. Dodge, mobility, deflect arrows. I am up to Grandmaster of Forms, so what gets I just had switched over to Wind Stance for a second there, but usually I'm in Sun Stance. Quick Draw, I don't know if that was granted or not. For the martial feats, I took Power Critical and Power Attack, not Precision on this. Again, it's a two-handed weapon, and if I was doing a monk with wraps, I would probably go over to Precision instead to bypass some AC better. The weapon focus feats come from the fighter side. You get a lot of feats with this build. I can't find exactly. I think I'm up to weapon focus, slashing, improved slashing. And I gotta find where those feats are too. Jeez. Not special feats. That is annoying. Fighter feats, there we go. Greater weapon focus and weapon specialization. The greater weapon focus, so it won't be available unless you do take 8 levels of fighter. Weapon specialization is only 4 levels of fighter, so it's another way to get some more melee power. Improved invasion is granted with the monk. Not sure about the level. What level that shows up at. So all those things are on over here. If they are activated on the right hand side of my screen at the lower bottom, it's power attack, um, lighting the candle, the slow fall, and my active destiny, Serenity, the Grandmaster of Flowers. Uh, in terms of using those monk moves for Epic Destiny, the Drifting Lotus Strike and Everything is Nothing, I'm not as will focused or wisdom focused on this character. So if I open up the Epic Destinies, I'll show you some more. The save on that every EIN, Everything is Nothing, is less than what is spectacular on a wisdom based monk. It's only hitting at 68. That's not enough to cover uh, wiping everything out on harder difficulty levels. Sometimes if you're on legendary hard, you can pop that and annihilate something if you want, but most of my stuff is in, or my main active destiny is the Grandmaster of Flowers. And the legendary Dreadnought, I only dumped 12 points in to get some more action boosts and some other things. Push through the line is giving you an action boost damage to all your ability scores for the duration of the boost. So usually I'll hit up the haste boost in the combat sequence and jump, 3 higher on my stats. So I'll show you that right now. Character sheet right now, standing with just guild buffs on, is showing the 79 strength and 63 con. But if I trigger this in the wilderness area, you see we jump up to 82 on the strength and 66 on the con. So I just burned a haste boost right there. I'm not sure if that works on Reaper strikes too or not, but lots of interesting things out of these legendary destinies. You can see on the right here I have the Shadow Dancer opened up, which is still going to give you other stuff depending on how you want to structure your character. You could almost run this build in any of these three, or even in some others. So it's very versatile that way. It's however you want to play. What else we got to look at? Oh, the big inventory slots. Yeah, I'm not really gonna just go brag about anything on the gear or anything. I am using the Boz Morath, the Curator of Decay from the Project Nemesis raid. And it's because this weapon has a purple slot on the bottom when you finish it out. Now, basically all in on strength. My wisdom item is the Black Pearl Ring, but I'm not wearing the Saltmarsh set entirely. My main con item is the 13 Echo of Ravenkind. Holy Burst puts Holy on my weapon too. And again, not wearing the whole set from the Mist at all. This time I went with the Cracked Core as a necklace. And the two sets on this build that I am wearing is the Helm of the Red Dragon and the Red Dragon Scale Robe. Get some more melee power and PRR out of it. And then the other set is the Ender set. The gauntlets are the charge gauntlets just to get some shock damage and my base strength of 14. But I don't have even 3 pieces of Abishai set on. Quality strength is coming from Legendary Ring of Power, an older item. It's only level 28. So on this build, I don't have artifact strength at all. Just trying to find a way to get to that island out there. Anyway, I'll go just hit something and end the video for that quick rundown. I like this build for being able to hang out. And it does some good things during combat for the other players, including that heal ability, which Path of Harmonious Balance, I'll just trigger it. As is, gets me for 288, and then the remove curse effect or restoration, whatever I toggle. The other thing is monk moves at the beginning of quests for people. Align the heavens. This apparently has been stacking 25% spell reduction bonus for a minute. But the key generation has been fine. I mean, 249 out of 415 max. Gotta watch, you know, key back in the day used to be super hard to come by, but now, even in the Grandmaster of Forms, I get +4 strength out of it, +1 to the critical multiplier and attack rolls of 19 to 20. -2 wisdom. On hit, 1 key. On critical, 5 key. So, it's, you know, usually there's plenty now. Last thing I wanted to open up, though, I guess before I end, is the little plus sign that you got, which shows stuff that's going on your character. Strike through chance coming in at 210. Offhand hit chance 35%. Sneak attack dice is relatively low, 3d6. You know, if you tweak gear or wear different sets, you don't really, you know, it's not something I've been really worrying about too much, but the crit multiplier bonus on 19 or 20 in this Epic Destiny and with feats and being in Grandmaster Flower is a ×3. Fortification bypass at 40%. Helpless damage bonus 35%. The movement speed multiplier, you'll see after the Tabaxi stands still for a couple seconds, it's 171 right now. Then I go, it jumps up to 186. Doesn't really look like that PDK boost is affecting it. Oh well. At least that'll be good for people around you if you are gaming to get them going.
A beacon stands here to warn ships away from the dangers of the headland at night.
So, yeah, it's just one of my favorite builds to play. I hope everybody has a nice afternoon here. Thank you.